Hello, my dearest friends, my dearest beautiful co-creator souls of love and light. This is Nenari, Princess of the Sea, coming to you with a new video. So are you ready for some wow in your life? And you're probably going, wow, what is she talking about? I'm talking about my new book, of course. Happy Wesak full moon. This is the Buddha enlightenment, Buddha's birth and Buddha's transition into the life after life celebration. Celebrating the Buddha nature and the Christ consciousness nature in you. So I found it absolutely perfect to be the day that we launched this beautiful book series. And it's called Wow! Words of Wisdom from the Princess, a Satsang of the Heart with the Sangha. So for those of you who may or may not be well versed in Eastern philosophy, I'm going to share with you a little bit about what that means. For those of you who are free from knowing what the words Sangha and Satsang mean, I'm just going to give you a brief overview in the way it's being given to me, as well as the Sanskrit tradition. Now, in Eastern philosophy, Hindu philosophy, Indian philosophy, it is Sanskrit is the language. And so the word satsang actually means to sit in the truth. So it's sitting in the truth of who you really are, beyond the ego, beyond the masks, beyond the makeup and the facade, and going deeper into who you are in your heart, who you are in your soul, and really bringing out that essence. And then Sangha simply means community, spiritual community, our spiritual soul family. And so many of you, after my recent death transition, life after life experience, if you want to call it, or as we call it, near-death experience, so many of you came to me and inspired me saying, please don't stop writing. Please don't stop doing videos. What you share has changed my life. What you share has, helped me so much. I learned so much from you. Things of this nature. And one of them I'd like to honor, actually two of them I'd like to honor. I'd like to honor all of you, but two of them in particular is Maria and Patricia, or Lady Tileani. And thank you to you both. Among the many of you, and I put several of you in my acknowledgments in the dedication of this book. But this book is, or should I say books, this book series, it's 2 books, is for you. So when you're sitting in the truth of who you are in your spiritual community as well as within, it's both essences. So I'm going to invite you to imagine for a moment. If you want, you can close your eyes or just feel it in your soul eye, third eye area. Just imagine for a moment that you're sitting right across from me and we are doing a one-on-one mentoring session, spiritual counseling session, a spiritual reading, a spiritual healing, in which the words are coming forth from me, which is not really from me, it's from the master artist, source, God, spirit, whatever you choose to call this source energy, through me to you. And then also imagine, if you will, envision a circle of people sitting on cushions or chairs. And it's a circle, though. If you notice most spiritual gatherings, they have rows of chairs, or you go to a speaking gig, there's rows of chairs. My satsangs are different. My satsangs are different is, it doesn't matter how many, if there's 5 people, if there's 10 people, if there's 100 or 1,000 people. I've done satsangs for as many as 10,000 people before, and it's all being in circle around circle, infinite circles around and around, okay? And so we are going to be sitting as a Sangha, a spiritual community in a satsang, sitting in the truth of our heart, in the truth of our soul. And within doing that, the wisdom that comes from Source through me to you shall come. And this is the way this book series has been written. Now, book 1 is got over 90 different topics on it. I mean, you can just imagine anything that you've wanted to ask, whether it's about religion or it's about family, or it's about relationships, or about financial abundance, or about abundance in general. There's such a wide array of topics, and these are all channels that I've posted on Facebook, articles I've done. If some of you who have been with me for a long time remember, back about 7-8 years ago, maybe now, I was a featured columnist. I had my own column for a newspaper in India that was an Indian newspaper on and offline. And so I've taken these articles of wisdoms of channelings that I've done over the many years, and then a lot of the ones I've done recently on Facebook here, and on various other blogs and vlogs that I've done, and I've combined them all into this first book. Now, the second book is prose poetry, songs that I've written. Some of the prose and poetry and songs have never even seen the light of day. Things I've never posted. And then there's also some really special wisdom in book 2. Not that there isn't special wisdom in book 1, there is. But in book 2, I go into, speaking of today, the full moon, I go into the actual phases of the moon and give the wisdom about the full moon. So it's a lot of wow, and each phase, because usually like today, we get all excited about the full moon or maybe the new moon when we go deep within, but most people do not know about each quarter phase of the moon and how to harness that energy, and the waxing versus the waning moon and things of that nature. So also in book 2, there's wisdom on prayer. Now book 1 has prayer part 1 as a channel, as wisdom, and then there's prayer part 2 in book 2. And in book 2 with prayer part 2, I actually include specific prayers that are meant for your healing, what prayer really is, how to actually pray, because a lot of people do not know the wisdom of what prayer really means. And so there's actual prayers in there as well for healing, for manifesting relationships, all sorts of things. So there's also the wisdom on prayer in book 2. A whole bunch of wisdom in there. Words of wisdom. Wow. So let me share with you real quick how I came into the title for the book. In my recent death, my transition, my near-death experience, I had a connection with Wayne Dyer on the other side, and there were many things that we talked about and shared, some of which I didn't remember all of it until I came back here. And so as all of you kept coming to me over and over again, wow, I love your words of wisdom. I appreciate your words of wisdom. Your words of wisdom have really helped me. I kept hearing that over and over again. And then all of a sudden one day I went and checked my email, and there was this post from someone who I subscribed to on Google+, and it was sending out this video, and it says, please watch this video, and P.S. words of wisdom. And I was like, words of wisdom. And then it was like in a shot, I remembered that conversation that I had with Wayne Dyer on the other side, in which he was talking to me about his book, Wit and Wisdom. I think it's Wit and Wisdom of Wayne Dyer. It's one of his way old books that I read way back a long time ago when he first came out with it. And he said, you're going to create something along these lines since you're choosing to come back. Because see what happens when you're on the other side and you choose to come back. It's not like you just make the choice and say, oh, I'm going to come back, and plop, you're back here. They transition you, just like you transition from here back onto the other side, or the life after life. You transition from being in death, if you will, or the life after life, and coming back here. It's the same thing when we reincarnate. So in that transitionary period is when I had one of these conversations that I had with Wayne. And so he said, remember that book? And so you're going to create something like this. And I was like, okay. And I kept hearing words of wisdom, words of wisdom. And I was like, wait a minute, that's an acronym. Wow. And everybody kept saying to me, wow, your wisdom is so awesome. Wow, I really appreciate the gifts that you give. Wow, I appreciate the things you share. So I put the 2 and 2 together, and it was like I heard Wayne laughing, going, there you go. You did it. And so that's how it came about. And so, as I said, imagine, if you will, that you're sitting personally one-on-one having a session with me, and I shouldn't even say or, it's and, both and that you're sitting in a circle, a community where we sit in the truth from the heart, from the soul. And so now we officially launch the book. Wow, the book series, Words of Wisdom from the Princess, a satsang from the heart with the Sangha. So this book series is for you. May it bless you in love. And both books have so much more wisdom than what I share here on this video. But I invite you now to please go to my website, Satsang, satsangoftheheart.net. Click on the Love Blessings Project link, and you will see the whole list of books. You will see my newest books here for you, which is the WoW book series. And then all my other books are listed there as well for your enjoyment. So please enjoy. Please know that this is the gift of love from my heart to your heart. And I also am intending to take this Satsang of the Heart in the book series. It's written and designed specifically as if you were in a satsang with me. So I want to take this and bring it to you. So, because one of the things I thought about is I know some of you would like to have an autographed copy. You've mentioned that because I had an overwhelming response that many of you said, you know, I want an actual book instead of the ebook. Now, both versions are available. So you can get the book, but to have it autographed is going to be a little difficult because then it's going to be double shipping. And I geared the book series and all of my books to include worldwide shipping, to include tax, to include the PayPal fees, all of that stuff. So the book price is, the love offering donation is including everything. So make it one stop, easy for you, so you don't pay extra in shipping or anything like that. And so since a lot of you said, you know, well, I want an autographed copy from you, you know, and so that would mean double shipping because I would have to have it shipped here first, then ship it to you, sign it, and then ship it to you. So what I thought of and what came to me in inspiration was take this on the road. If and when Source calls it forth, if you have a community who is really wanting this to actually sit physically with me in a satsang, as a Sangha or one-on-one sessions, and we can work it out. I don't have a lot of money, as you know, but we can work it out. If there's a will, there's a way. So we can create something, and I can come to you. I can come to you and do private sessions. I can come to you and do a Sangha where it's a satsang of the heart physically. And then I can sign your books and things of that nature. So this is my source gift to you. I am the discourse from source, as it says in the book. So as again, I invite you, please go to the link, Satsang, satsangoftheheart.net, and click on the Love Blessings Project link. And bless you, and I honor you and love you all so dearly. And thank you to so many of you who have been such an inspiration to me to get this book series out for you. And there's more to come. So excited. Thank you for joining me, and please spread the word. It's all about the love that we share. I love you. Thank you. Best Baba.